Hello my beautiful makeup lovers! Thank you so much for tuning in with me and a very warm welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a review on two things more or less, which include each other. Well, let me get started. I want to do a review on the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. And I'm going to include the review on this one on the review on my Makeup Travelbag from September 2018. And yes, so let's get started with the foundation. So I took with me for traveling this time this foundation, and I took it in the color F6. And yeah, let me give you first the thoughts on it like singly. So this one it lasts really well. Like, if you have oily skin like I do, really bad, then this is a really good option because it does really control the oil without drying out your skin. At least this was the experience that I had. And usually my skin can get very sensitive to be dried out by too mattifying foundations. This one didn't do that. The only thing that I have with this, and I cannot believe that I'm gonna not complain, but I'm going to bring this up, that this foundation has a lot of coverage, but a lot. So I'm usually full coverage person, you know, I like my foundations to be full coverage, but this one is almost on the verge to be too full coverage. I know this is like a luxury problem to complain about, but I find it a bit, like a little bit less would have been less mask-wise. I mean, if you like use not too much, it doesn't look too crazy like a mask, but if you use accidentally a little bit too much, it can look like a mask a little bit, and that's a bit annoying. And also if you put too much, it does tend to grab on the texture too much. So I mean, in this way it will last longer for me because just put a little bit on it and then it will be fine. But yeah, so bringing it up with the products I used it with. So I used it with the Catrice Prime and Fine Porerefining Anti-Shine Base. This one I really like, so I already knew that if this doesn't work, it's probably going to be the foundation. But they do work well together. I don't think that this foundation needs any help from a primer, to be honest. So I wore it a couple of times with a primer, but then I, most of the time, just took away because I don't feel like this foundation needs a mattifying primer as well. If anything, I would have preferred to have like a moisturizing primer with me with that one. Now, my biggest disaster was putting the Rimmel Stay Matte over this one. Like, this one is so mattifying that together with this one, I looked like I'm gonna fall apart in a moment. Like, you touch me and I'm like, so yes, these two together, like immediately to finish off your look, I don't think that looks well. At least on me, it looked too matte. And I cannot believe I'm going to say that, but it was just too matte. And in the end, I ended up putting the foundation, and then I would not put any powder actually, because I just had this one with me and I didn't really want to buy another one. So, and then after like 2 hours, I started to do some touch-ups with this one, and that was actually really nice. But one thing that I discovered, I wore this foundation one time before I started traveling with this powder. This is actually a bronzer from Wet n Wild. It's not really a bronzer, it's super light, and mine is broken, excuse that, in the color Reserve Your Cabana. And if you put this one, it has like a little sheen to it. Over this one, it's a beautiful finish, a really beautiful finish. So don't get your most mattifying powder out when you use that one, because it can look crazy. At least it did to me. So I'm probably gonna use this one more, but I'm gonna go in with a light hand because it has enough coverage. If you just put one layer, let's call it a layer, you don't need to build up the coverage. And also, yeah, it's pretty, you know, it controls the oil well, so you don't need to go in super crazy with powder either. Just do a quick little bit of touch-ups. I'm sorry, I'm nervous, I guess. And yeah, so if you go in with a powder, use a little bit like a lighter one, a more maybe illuminating one. I think that looks really pretty, really nice, and it does not really need a primer. And if anything, something like maybe a pore filling one or something, because it can grab to your texture and therefore also to the pores. And to finish this up, this concealer I used, of course, together with this foundation, the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one also has a lot of coverage, so I had like full coverage going on this week that I was traveling. Nobody saw my real face for like 1 week. And so yeah, these two work together well. They blend into each other nicely, but probably I will not use them together again, even though I like the concealer itself. I really like the concealer on its own. It has a great coverage. It stays in place. It doesn't crease under my eyes. It doesn't crease because I also put concealer like usually here and around here. And usually that starts to crease a little bit around here. But this one, I mean, it does it a little bit. Let's be honest. You can notice after a while, but it does it way later than other concealers. And it's really nice. So I'm really happy with this one. I can totally get the hype about this one. And this one, the verdict on is go on with a light hand. If you really full coverage, like almost going toward mask, then put a lot. You're gonna have a good time. And I'm really liking this. I think it's gonna be a great option now in winter because it does feel like you have a little cream on your face without being creamy. I don't know, it's difficult to explain, but I'm really liking this foundation. But you know how to use. You have to know how to use it. You can make mistakes with this foundation. So if you are not willing to experiment and want just something that works straight ahead, then this is probably not your foundation. But if you're willing to test a bit out with powders and primers, I think you can end up with a really, really nice finish. And it is really affordable, so why not gonna try it? So let's move on to the non-foundation face powder part. Or I have more face powders because I also have bronzer and stuff, but that's it for the base. And let's move on to the other powders I put in my face. And this is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze Powder. So I did bring this one with me. And I have nothing to say about this one in general. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. It does go on a little bit patchy. You have to blend a bit more than with other powders. So probably this is not my favorite ever. I don't think it's bad either. You can make it work. The only thing that I noticed with this one that it does fade quite, not like super fast, but after like 6 hours or so, I'm like, where's my contour? And well, anyway, so this is not my favorite. I'm probably not gonna repurchase it because it's also so big that probably it will last my whole life. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm gonna do with this. I'll see. I'll come up with something. And yeah, so the blush. I put this with me, took with me this duo Thrown to Be White from Colourpop, which has two Super Shock blushes in them. One being like this, it's the color Quarters, and it looks like that. And then it had also kind of a blush topper in it that if you didn't see my packing video of this, then this is not super used. This has arrived to me like that. Yeah, okay, I didn't use it much before, just for your information. And these two together are, oh, let's say, I really like the blush, like the sheer blush of it. I think it's a really pretty color. It does look really intense in here, but you can just put a little bit, like I used to take it with my finger and was like tap, 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 and then I used the brush and blended it out and it will look beautifully. And then the blush topper, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't think they really incorporate each other well. I don't know. I was not a huge fan of this blush topper. It's not bad either, but I, in the end, just ended up wearing this blush. I did not really use the blush topper anymore. And I think what it is that, I don't know, like it brings out an undertone of this color that itself is really beautiful. But when I put the blush topper on it, I think it brings out an undertone in this color that is kind of weird. So it doesn't fit me then. I don't know. It just didn't look good on me. And so I skipped this the topper most of the time and just went only with the blush, not brush. And yeah, that was all right. I mean, it looked beautiful only on its own anyway. So I was not too thrown away by this. So I'm definitely going to use this more in now in autumn. It's called autumn or fall, depending for where you are from. So I'm going to use this more now. I'm really enjoying that, and I'm happy I took it with me and took it to this test. Okay, so let's move on to highlight. I took this mini Becca Highlight. They have this forever never ending names. The Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder in the color Opal. I have a little mini of this. This is how it looks like from the inside. I can totally get the hype of this product, of Becca Highlights. It's beautiful. This was my first Becca Highlight ever, and I'm really liking it. It lasts throughout the day, even in the evening when I put it on. I'm still thinking like, wow, your highlight, so nice. And yeah, I'm really in love with this one. I'm probably gonna use it more often. I don't think I'm gonna get through it, even though it's so small, maybe like in 5 years or something. But especially this color also melts really with my skin. It doesn't look like sits on top. It doesn't look too subtle. It's really pretty. I totally get the Becca Highlight hype now, and I'm totally on it. And I'm probably gonna pick up another one day, but a mini. The full-size version is just too big. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. So I did take with me, as always, as also the last time, my Zoeva Brow Spectrum palette. I still love it. Nothing more to say about that. And then I took with me the new palette from Certify, the Destiny palette. The Destiny palette, and I took it with me to travel there, but this is gonna be a review on its own, so stay tuned for that. And I also took another eyeshadow palette because I went to a wedding and I found the Destiny palette a little bit too intense for that. So I took with me the good old chocolate bar from Too Faced, and what can I say? I took it because I know I'm gonna like it and I know I can create nice looks with this, and I'm still loving it. I still think this is a great palette. I don't think that my shadows went bad either, so that's good to know. But yeah, I definitely have to give this more love, I think. Yeah, I don't know, like it got me thinking of maybe doing kind of like a project panning or something, but I'm not a panner. I don't know. So I don't know. I definitely want to incorporate this a little bit more, but I don't know really how now. So love that one. The next thing, so this one, this mascara from By Terry. This is the mascara double effect mascara. I don't know. It's a mascara from By Terry, and it's one of those that you have a rubber brush and then you can twist the brush like this on here, so to have either volume or length. And the thing is, with this I get neither volume nor length. I don't know what's wrong with this mascara. It just doesn't work for me. I feel like if I put like first the volumizing one and then the lash one and work a lot of time on my lashes, then it kind of looks good. But you know, just to be like with like the most mascaras, you know, like I don't know, like one of my favorite mascaras are the Lash Princess mascara from Essence. Works a million times faster and better than this one, and this one is like, I don't know, 10 times the price. That's exaggerating it, but like 5 times at least. And I don't like this one at all. It didn't do anything for my lashes. I looked like, when I put only lengthening, it looked like I have like very few lashes. And when I put the volumizing one, it looked like I have very short lashes. I don't know. And put them together, you kind of have to work a lot with it, dividing the lashes again after I put the lengthening one. And no, it's not worth it for me for a mascara that costs like almost 30 euros. So no, not my thing. Yeah, so it's a pity. I don't know. I'm probably gonna use it up somehow. I don't know how yet. I will see. My 2 lip products that I brought. So I brought the Nars Velvet Lip Glide in the color Bound. I really like this one. It's so comfortable. It feels so nice on the lips. It does fade away throughout the day, but it comes plenty, so that doesn't matter. And it's easy to apply, so you cannot really, you know, you don't have to be super precise like with a liquid lipstick. It's a really nice formula. I'm really liking this. I'm thinking of picking up 1 or 2 more shades. And yeah, so if you're looking for a lip gloss that has a very comfortable feeling, that it's not like more of this balmy feeling rather than this super liquid, sticky feeling, then this could be for you. I think they're really nice, and I definitely think with all the product you get in here, I'm gonna get a lot of use of it, so it's kind of worth the price. And I'm really liking this one, and yeah, I cannot say if I run out of it, I would probably repurchase it, but if I would lose it, I would repurchase it. I think it's really nice, especially for business, because it just looks like your lips but better. And then I took with me this Lancome matte shaker in the color beige vintage. So this is one of the ones that you shake like this. It has a little iron ball in them, and then you open it and there's the color on the applicator, and this is right here, this is the problem. This is not a problem with the juicy shakers, but like this, to apply a liquid lipstick with this applicator accurately is like impossible. Impossible. I was like, there, guys, I don't know. I was getting desperate, okay? I was desperate, and I actually bought something else for the wedding. So that's how much I don't like this. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna try to use it with a lip brush now that I'm back home. So yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it. If you have any experience how to make this work, please let me know. I can use some help. Okay, so this was kind of my review from the Makeup Revolution foundation, because I didn't want to make a video just dedicated to that. So I did it in the beginning. And all of my makeup stuff that I took with me traveling this time. Yeah, so there were some hits, some misses. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your experiences with this product, especially. Do you know how to make this bronzer non-patchy? Do you know how to make this mascara work easier? And do you know how to apply this lipstick without looking like a clown? I would be interested in that. And yeah, so let me know. And thank you so much for watching, taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and then see you in my next video. Bye bye!